Hăīrē, φίλε, and welcome. Today we're in John chapter 3, finishing off verse 26 and going through the end of verse 27. Here is a rubric, everything that we're looking for as we go through this text. Let's go ahead and get started. Ide houtos baptize kai pantes erkontai pros auton. Apekrithe Ioannes kai epen ou donatai anthropos lambanen ude hen ean me ei de dominon autoi ectu uranu. And that's as far as we're going to make it. First, we should take a look at some context from verse 26 so that we have a clear idea of what's going on as we translate this, since we stopped in the middle of what these guys are saying. Rabbi, who was with you across the Jordan, to whom you yourself have witnessed? All right, now that we have that context, we can continue. Ide, we've seen that before. This is a particle that it's an emphatic particle, exclamatory. That's what the word is, not emphatic. It's exclamatory. It means behold or look, and it is a form of oida. Houtos, baptize. Here is our verb. We've got epsilon iota right there, so that's going to be a third person singular. This zeta, without an augmenting vowel at the beginning, tells us that this is a present tense. It's active and indicative. Houtos comes from houtos, haute, tuton, or tuto. That's tuto. So this one is the masculine, nominative singular, masculine form. This, and you might insert the word one, or man, unless we have some reason to not do that, if we have a noun to the noun to which it refers somewhere else in here. But with this chi right there, it doesn't look like it, so we're going to stick with those two for now. Baptizes. Chi and pantes erkantai. Omicron nu tau alpha iota. This comes from erkomai. So this is going to be the third person plural. Present. Deponent, indicative. So now we want a plural subject. As we take a look at right behind us, you have pantes. This epsilon sigma right there tells us that this is going to be plural in form. But let's look ahead. Pros auton, that's the end of the clause. So this has to be our subject. And this one doesn't want to take a direct object. So nominative, plural, masculine. And all are coming, pros, prepositional phrase plus the accusative. Ends right there. And this is singular and masculine. To or toward. Him. Okay. Looking back, I don't think there's anything else that we need to do except maybe add in brackets all people. We've already got all. Gosh. All right, now moving on to verse 27. Apekrithe. Theta ede right there is our third person singular. The theta tells us that this is going to be an aorist passive, except that I think that this word itself is deponent, and it is indicative. Ioannes, eta sigma right there, we already know as our subject form. So John answered Kai, and epen, we've seen this one before. Previously we've had it in the plural, but now we have it in the singular. Otherwise it's the same. And said, should close down that quote right there and start a new quote right here. U dunatai, here is our verb, tau alpha iota. We've seen this form before, so I don't think I need to parse it again. Just leave that as it is, present. This makes it negative. Now looking ahead, anthropos, omicron sigma, we've got our subject right there. So man is not able. Lambanen, epsilon iota nu right there, off of the present stem from lambano. This is going to be the present active infinitive. To take or receive. I just misspelled that, didn't I? Can never remember with this verb. I hate that word in English. Moving on. Ude, hen, aeon. So we've got a new clause that starts right here, so we need to handle these two first. Hen could be either the nominative singular or the accusative singular neuter from heis, mia, hen, the word for one. Ude, this means just not. And not hen one. Since we already have our subject here with anthropos, lambanen is the object of this verb right here. Lambanen does want its own, so taking hen as accusative singular neuter makes the most sense. To take, to receive, not one. Since we don't have anything more in here, we might insert the word thing. And aeon me, we've seen this before, several verses back, and this we simply translate as unless or if not. Looking ahead, a didomenon. Let's handle didomenon first. We've got reduplication right there with the delta and the epsilon. Men tells us that this is going to be the middle passive participle form. Omicron nu right there tells us the case and the gender. So on could be nominative singular neuter, accusative singular neuter, or accusative singular masculine. We will have to ask ourselves, well, what is this referring to? As we look ahead, we have autoi right there, and autoi appears to be pointing back to anthropos, which means didomenon should be pointing back to hen. So nominative, singular, neuter, perfect, passive, participle. And now we move back to a right here. And a is an interesting one. We don't often, or at least we haven't often seen the subjunctive form of amy. And this one is a third person singular. It is present form. And naturally active subjunctive to go with this aeon me, unless it was didomenon, we could translate as having been given, or just given as the adjective, which makes sense since we've got the present form of amy right there. So that's what I'm going to write with HB in brackets to remind us about that. Autoi, that sub iota right there, we already know its form, no need to parse it again. To him. Ek, prepositional phrase plus the genitive. To uranu, singular, and uranos is masculine. From the heaven. Period. There we go. Now this may or may not be the end of John's speech. We're going to have to wait until next week when we look at the next verse in this paragraph to find out. Now we want to take a look at this in its own context, and then later the greater context from verse 25. Behold, this man baptizes, and all people are coming to him. John answered and said, man is not able to take or to receive not one thing. That just means he's not able to receive a single thing. Double negatives don't work the same way in Greek as in Latin, or as in English. They don't really work the same way in Latin either, unless it was given to him from the heaven. Not was. Oops. It is. Ignoring what I wrote down myself. Okay, now from verse 25. Therefore, a search, an inquiry, an examination happened of the disciples of John with a Jew concerning purification. And they came to the particular John and said to him, Rabbi, who was with you across the Jordan, to whom you yourself have witnessed? Behold, this one baptizes, and all people are coming to him. John answered and said, man is not able to receive one thing unless it is given to him from the heaven. And there we go. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope taking a look at this has been helpful for you, and I hope that you have a very good day. Farewell.
Hey, not asleep yet? That's okay. I've got tons of other videos that are equally sleep-inducing. Check them out. Alternatively, you could take a look at this video over here.